Hello everyone. I just wanted to, make a video. I hadn't made one for a while, so I wanted to say, Merry Christmas, and it is the New Year. It's January 8th of 2012, which is insane. The year went by way too fast, and that's something that I'm not used to. Something that just whizzes by like that. Because you remember how like when you were kids and things seemed a lot bigger, like or longer. Like an hour seemed like 5 million days. Okay, and it's funny, how when you go, like when I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to the zoo, the Henry Dorley Zoo, and the aquarium with the sharks. The overhang. When I used to go in there, that thing was huge. Like, it looked like a vast, like, how did you fit an ocean in there? And now that I go in there, it's like, yeah, that's nice. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's not something that I'm that impressed with, because now that I'm older, I see, not necessarily the magic is gone from it, but the fact is that, I know what goes on now. And I've seen behind the scenes. I've actually fed the sharks. And that was actually more amazing than, actually remembering how big the aquarium was at one time. So, I mean, I know I've segued off into something that doesn't necessarily, go into anything, but, what was my point? Oh, Happy New Year. Although the start of my New Year wasn't necessarily all that great. I, you know, gotta go to a funeral of, one of somebody that's very near and dear to our family, and, my heart goes out to them, to her family, as well as mine, because I know that, she had a great impact on our lives. Um, I mean, if the year's gonna start out with, a funeral, that just means it's gonna end with something pretty cool. Even though this year is supposed to be, the end of, time and is itself, and everybody's freaking out. And, I mean, I don't necessarily believe that it's gonna happen this year, but if it is, on occasion, that sometimes I am wrong. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, and nobody can stop it. So, why freak out about it? You know, I mean, yeah, the the uh, the image of, not necessarily knowing what's gonna happen, it is frightening. But I mean, it's gonna, if it does, it's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do. So just embrace your family. You know, um, do things you never wanted to do. I want to skydive, so let's go skydiving. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let something like that, stop me. Not that it's going to happen, but if it does, there's no use in whining about it, because whining isn't going to change anything. So grow up and do what you're going to do. You know what I mean? Um, Other than that, let's see what other news we've got. I started gauging this year, so I'm not, unsymmetrical or symmetrical dictionary. Because I have a zero gauge in this, and then this is like, I don't even know. I'm not the gauge fairy. And then I lost them. It's horrible. I bought them from Amazon. I set them down, because I was at my grandma's place, and I lost them. This is great. So now I have to go over there and find them. Um, let's see. What all did I get for Christmas? Let's talk about this. Because I was very fortunate this year for Christmas. Some people aren't fortunate, aren't as fortunate, and they don't get gifts for Christmas. But I'm sure, as you guys know already, I am in love with Sherlock Holmes. I always have been. But I mean, as Robert played, it just became infinitely more cooler. So I mean, I'm that far into the book right now. I just finished, A Study in Scarlet, and I'm about to read the Sign of Four right now. And can I just say that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is a genius. If you haven't read his books, not necessarily Sherlock Holmes, but he was big into spirituality. He was in spiritualism and everything like that. And he wrote quite a few books about that as well. So I mean, if you haven't read any of his work, I would definitely read those and read Sherlock Holmes because I mean, just the way that he speaks, it's good. But I would brush up on your Cockney because some of the things that are said in there you don't really understand. But I mean, if you get the Sherlock Holmes volume by this certain Arthur, I believe it's by the Barnes and Noble Classics. At the bottom of a page, if you don't understand, a certain word, um, or if there's like some kind of slang or the Cockney, at the bottom of the page or on that certain word, it'll have a star, and then on the bottom of it, it'll have the definition or what how it was used in the sentence and why it was used that way. So I mean that was pretty cool as far as that, because then I wouldn't have to study on my Cockney, even though I did anyway, just because I am in love with Victorian England and just England in general. Um, I am from there, not directly. I wasn't born there, but my family is from Europe, so I mean I'm a mix between Spain and Scotland. So I mean that had to have been a bad day. I mean, as you can, I'm dark, like my not necessarily my complexion, but my hair and my eyes and everything. It's dark, and that's where I get that from. It's from Spain, my Spaniard. So, I've been practicing on my received pronunciation, which is like the Queen's English and the proper way to speak. And I have noticed that my English accent that I had that I can do, that I'm able to just pull out and just do it, is not as accepted as or it's not as refined as I thought it was, which is weird. So I've been practicing that. I'm not gonna do it for y'all because I will be ridiculed. Um, But other than that, I hadn't made a video for a while. I wanted to make a video, see how everybody was doing. Shout out to the family. Much family love. Love you. I love you guys. You know, um, wanted to show you my hair is getting long. Finally, um, looking like a boy. And no, I'm not going for the Justin Bieber look, but I'm rocking it. I think. Yeah, I'm rocking it. Um, anyway, much family love. You guys try to have, the best 2012 that you can, because believe me, whether, this is the end of the year or whatever, we're gonna rock it. And we're gonna do it awesome. Because, that's just how we go. That's how we roll. So, much family love. Peace.